Good morning, everybody, and welcome to On the Open here in Europe, where MarketStream takes a look at all the action that's going on now that the European markets are open. My name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. Let's jump right into it. We have some decent action going on right now. Starting in Germany, the DAX is up 0.6%, and it's down. I think I said up. I apologize. It should be down about 0.6% now that I'm looking at the DAX. It's testing levels that we haven't seen them test since mid-2015. Heavyweights like Merck, BMW, Daimler, Siemens, Volkswagen, Deutsche Bank, all down between 0.9% and 1.2%. These are heavyweights. You're going to see that potentially start to roll over here into the States. And you also are seeing these down. You're also seeing some utilities like RWE and EON up about 1.4% or 2.5%. So you're seeing some of the defensive trade, which we saw also in Asia overnight, starting to pick up a little bit. Now, EWG is trading at 26.86. That's the ETF that tracks German stocks. The one-day range is right now about 37 cents in the $26 ETF and 47 cents for the next 8 days for the $26 ETF. Implied volatility rank is really low, 10%. So there's not a heightened expectation of violent moves. We are not seeing volatility right now in these markets. Taking a look at the UK and the FTSE, it's off by about 0.1%. You still see consumer names and financials struggling. Now, one thing that we did see that was notable is that London has dropped the demand to retain the financial passport. That allows sales across a single market. That has put some pressure on some consumer names like Associated British Foods, Tesco, Dixon's, Carphone, Next, RBS, and HSBC. Standard Life, Barclays in the financial sector are also holding losses, somewhere between 0.4% and 3.6% across the board. You are still seeing, though, that miners are outperforming and continue to be strong, and the commodities sector in general in the UK has been strong. Randgold Resources, Anglo American, Rio Tinto, BH Pilton, all showing gains between 2.4% and 4.3%. EWU is trading at $30.87. This British ETF has an estimated range for the next day of 30 cents and over the next 8 days, 46 cents. And implied volatility rank is really low at 9%. Taking a look at France, the CAC has shed about 0.1% right now early in the session. You're starting to see counter-cyclical names. What are counter-cyclical names? That's just a cool terminology for defensive names, are among the laggers right now, with Sanofi, Carrefour, and L'Oreal all down between 0.4% and 1.6%. Those latter names, that could be because of the weakness that we've seen in Asia starting to rear its head. Take a look at the overnight action report that we did at 8:30. You can get more on that. Financials have held up well, though. BNP Paribas, Crédit Agricole, and Société Générale are all adding between 0.7% and 1.4%. EWQ is the ETF that tracks these French stocks and more, trading at 24.96. The 9-day range is right now right around 65 cents, either up or down. Implied volatility is heightened comparative to the other nations at 33%, so we're seeing the rank there to the upside. Finally, we're going to take a look at Spain. The financials have been on the move in Spain, and that has moving the IBEX to the upside, adding about 0.3% early in the session. Banco Popular, Coaxa Bank, and BBVA, Santander, all up between 0.5% and 2.2%. EWP is the ETF that you can utilize to track, monitor, and trade these stocks in Europe through an ETF, trading at 27.18. And over the next 9 days, it's pricing in a 65-cent range for this ETF. Implied volatility is relatively inexpensive. It's cheap at 21%. To finally take a look at the yield check, take a look at the 10-year bonds across the board. In France, it's unchanged. It's about 0.77%. You have Germany's 10-year up 1 basis point at 0.25%. You have Spain's 10-year down 2 basis points to 1.4%. And you have UK's 10-year down 5 basis points at 1.41%. So definitely some mixed markets right now, but nothing that I would say would be volatile or showing a lot of uncertainty. Join me at 9:30 Eastern time here at MarketStream.live. I'm going to be covering everything now that's going to be happening on the U.S. market open and see how the overnight action as well as the action in Europe is impacting our markets today. So join me here at MarketStream.live. Take care.